Emzunfiltered. Authentic, credible, genuine. With Emma Brain.
So today I thought I would do something a little bit different on Emzunfiltered and introduce you to a couple of the most important beings in my life, and those are my two rescue dogs. And the reason I want to talk about my dogs and rescuing in general is not just in the UAE. There's a massive issue globally with lots and lots of unwanted stray animals. There's too many animals, not enough homes for them, lots and lots of backyard breeders just dumping animals. It's not a good thing. Lots of unwanted animal markets and pet shops. And I would always say, please, please, please don't buy an animal. There's far too many just unwanted animals out there. I get that certain people want certain breeds of animal, and that's fine, but just make sure wherever you get it from, you know, they understand what the animal is and it's all ethical and done above board. Because unfortunately, anyone that's going to fly a baby animal halfway around the world doesn't have the animal's interests at heart. Lots of them have fudged paperwork, and it's not a good thing. They're being sold completely underage. It's terrible. But my two rescue dogs, I've had them both since they were about 16 weeks old each. Toby is the older one. Toby is disabled. He was born this way. He has both his back legs, the hips are dislocated. He has virtually no what we call the hock joint in the back leg, and he has complete and utter muscle atrophy in his back legs, which means his back legs are straight and he kind of hops around. And I always remember going to see him where he was being fostered, and he scooted into my lap and looked up at me, and that was kind of it. And now he's 12 years old. He's done very, very well. But it was really disappointing. The first vet I ever took him to took one look at him and wanted to put him down on the spot. And I was like, no, why? He's fine. Just because an animal has a disability or has a problem, it doesn't make them any less deserving of a home or any less deserving of love and care. And as I said, he's now 12 years old and doing perfectly fine. So boo to that vet at the time. And to put it in UAE terms, he is a dog of determination, and determined he's been through all those years, and he's absolutely amazing. And my second dog is Jaeger. He was found with his siblings and his mum in a warehouse in one of the other Emirates. He was absolutely tick infested. He had the tick disease, was in the vets for 10 days on drips and fluids. He nearly died twice, but the rescue organisation never gave up on him. And I happened to go to one of their adoption days and saw him, and I was like, that's it. And I do have two adopted cats as well, and I'll get to them in another video, because one of them is a cat of determination as well. I basically adopt the unadoptables, the animals that nobody else wants. As I said, they are all deserving, and we have too much animal abuse. Every week here in the UAE, there's always some case of animal abuse. His Highness Sheikh Hamdan adopted a dog called Grace, if memory serves. She was shot twice and nursed back to health, and then he adopted her. One of the sheikhs adopted a dog that had been abused and then abandoned and left for dead. There's lots of animals that are in need of homes. Every week there are adoption days, and the rescue organisations are crying out for foster and forever homes. No puppy should be growing up in a shelter. No puppy should be growing up in a crate at the vet. No dog or cat or any other animal should be living its life in a cage. They deserve a loving, kind, caring home. And animals bring something to your life. They really, really do. It's amazing for kids to be around animals. I think it makes many children more kind and caring. Animals are completely empathetic. They know when you're sick. They know when you're not feeling well. They come and look after you. I'm constantly stroking Toby. He's sitting down here next to me. He loves this. He loves his strokes. He just likes to sit with his mama. There's just something amazing about having an animal in the house. Sometimes before them, they can be worse than having kids. You know, the mess they make and chase each other around. And people say, dogs and cats don't get on, do they? Oh, they do. As long as they're brought up together and they get used to each other, they all sleep together, they all hang out together. One cat picks on Jaeger in particular because he's a complete wussy. Animals are amazing, and I fully support the adopt, don't shop mentality. There's nothing wrong with a mixed breed animal. Historically, scientifically, research-wise, many mixed breeds have far fewer health issues because they are as dogs would be in the wild. They're mongrels, they're mixtures of stuff. And people say rescues and adopted animals have attitude problems. In my experience, that's not the case at all. An animal behaves how it's been brought up, much like a child. If an animal has been abused, it becomes very distrusting. If it's been abused by certain people, it becomes very distrusting of those kinds of people. So if it's, you know, a male that's abused the dog, many dogs don't like men, if that's what's happened to them, and vice versa and all the rest of it. It's just, you can't do that, and it's about trust building. And if an animal trusts you, then you won't have many problems. Dogs are amazing judges of character. If my dogs don't like someone, I fully trust them because clearly something wrong with that person, that's for sure. So, anyway, if you are considering ever wanting to add a pet to your family, please consider adopting rather than going to a shop and buying one. Check out your local shelters, your local rescue groups. They are screaming out for foster homes. And if you're not sure, why not try fostering an animal? Give that animal a break from being in a cage. Give that animal a break from being at the shelter. Take them into your home for a few weeks, a couple of months. Give them a chance to be who they were meant to be, to see what potential they have. From me and mine, thanks for joining me on this episode of Emzunfiltered. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.